Okay, any views expressed are the opinion of the guest. That's not a representation because the programming reflects that Politickin with 4 eyes. It's really no competition. Suffocating with the dope. You know I be twisting. Real ninjas out in the field. Now we cotton picking. Not to mention our intention to cover topics and many of the subjects. I got more lines than the deli at the Publix. With King Pharaoh, PoPolitickin, I'm pistol whipping. Rappers jeopardizing hip-hop position. My opposition, intuition, prediction like writers on The Simpsons. To witness the glimpses from higher up dimensions. My bitches be fighting gremlins like Phoebe Cates. Let me cook stovetop oven, easy bakes. Hydroponic with them seaweed flakes. Yeah, these rappers started from the bottom. Power bottom, TD Jakes. Unfollowed, talking about have you ever been swallowed? Regardless of race, color, or creed, you get Apollo'd. We politicking, ticking, we straight politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that politicking, ticking. This for the politicking, ticking. We straight politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that politicking, ticking.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Checking you out on Spotify and Apple. 1212, I'm in place to be with Trianna Feruza. Hopefully I said that right.
Oh, you said it great. You did fantastic.
Good, because I am very country. I'm from Mississippi, so I do mess up people's names. So none personal. I'm just from the
You
South.
and every teacher I've ever had, honestly.
All right. So how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing really good. I'm really happy to be here. I love the show. I'm doing good. It's a sunny day in Santa Cruz, California. So I've got my door open and I get to longingly look outside. But we're doing good. It's a beautiful day. And honestly, I can't complain. Doing good.
You say you're in Santa Cruz?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, what's that, like LA or North Cali?
So that's like about an hour away from San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in San Diego.
Oh, nice. We love that.
Like completely far. We like what, like 6 hours away?
Yeah, about 6 or 7. It depends on what day you go. If I left at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could probably get there in like 5.5.
Okay. So I was listening. I know you have a. I'm not interviewing because I was like I can't interview all y'all, but I want to say it's Trianna Feruza and the Heavy Hitters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was like, that was, how many of y'all? It was like a whole band. I was like, I'll get AEG interviewing all y'all at the same time. So
I love it. So we're a 4-piece. I play rhythm guitar. I'm vocals. I MC. And then Josh Baldwin is on lead guitar. Zach Latham is on bass. And Ryan Ouse is on the drum kit.
And then I was going to say, I don't know if this is on purpose, but you kind of remind me of Amy Winehouse a lot. So I don't know if that's like, you just sound like her, or you're influenced by her. Or
I definitely listen to her a lot. I've got to say though, out of every artist I've ever been compared to, she is by far the top. Everyone after shows, they go, "Do you know that British chick? You know the one, the I'm no good." I'm like, Amy Winehouse. Yeah, that's me. I love it. I'm not mad at that comparison. I grew up listening to a lot of her music. I grew up listening to Amy, Erykah Badu, Etta James, Stevie Nicks. Yeah, Amy's definitely one of my top babes. She was fantastic.
And then I was trying to say, cause I don't even know. So what type of, like, what genre is your music in? I never even considered it. I know Amy Winehouse was kind of like, they was kind of put her in R&B a little bit, but then she started doing music with Tony Bennett and stuff. So like, what genre is that music?
I think that what we would have called it if she was still making music today would be neo soul.
Oh. Okay.
So what neo soul is if R&B, hip hop, jazz, and blues all had a baby.
Yeah.
And that genre is now what we call neo soul. So that's kind of what our band is. We're genre bending. we go all over the place. We got a little bit of rock too, but I think these days you have to have a pretty consistent brand. You need to be telling venues and booking agencies and potential, tour partners, etc. You have to have your brand and your package. So if we had to say a term for our music, it'd be neo soul.
Okay, yeah, you talked about Erykah Badu a little bit. So then you had the Jill Scott, you had the Roots, you had D'Angelo, you had Angie Stone, you had Bilal, a lot of those neo soul.
Honestly, one of the first songs I ever learned on guitar was "Hate on Me" by Jill Scott. It's a good song. I love that song. Hate on me, hater, now or later.
That's a good song.
It's a good song. And it's helped me a lot as an artist too, because you're not gonna be everybody's thing. You know what I mean? And so it's so nice to be listening, to the greats and be able to tap into the same channel that they were in when they were, kind of where you were at.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say, you said you're not gonna be everybody's like everybody's not gonna like you, but it's 8.2 billion people in the world. So somebody gonna like you.
That is so true. And as long as you know that what you got is dope and you're rocking with it, happiness and the pocket is infectious. You know what I mean? If you got a good groove and people start dancing, it's over. You got a good thing.
Cause especially like for far with music and artistry, you only really need, like, I say, if you get like, man, if you got, this is probably too many. I say if you got 1,000, if you got 1,000 fans, like hardcore core fans, no, not 1,000, that might be too low. But if you got 5,000 core fans that really support you and like really like you drop something, they buy it, they buy your merch, all that, I think you can end up having a successful career. So you don't need, like, some people think, like, even the people, like, we was talking about this last time, but it's people that they have like 90 million followers on social media, but then they put out an album and the album only drops like 3,000. So it's like, that's not, you got these followers on social media, but it's not translating to your music and your sales.
Totally. I also think that a lot of it too is that people they're really good media consumers, but people these days, so much is available for free that it's hard to consistently get engaged buyers as far as music releasing goes, which is why we love Bandcamp and we love, getting to self-release and being able to, print out vinyl and print out the CDs and getting people to like really come and like purchase the music has been so, especially in the past 5 years. We're so grateful to have things like Bandcamp because streaming's difficult. It's different, and it's different than it's never been this way before. Which is, it's interesting, especially within R&B and neo soul and hip hop. I feel like country music fans, jazz music fans are really good at still purchasing like physical records or going to iTunes and actually buying the album. But I feel like with other like pop and other genres of music, it's so much, I think, easier for the younger generation to just stream. And so it's been really interesting to be doing these new releases and to be figuring out the playlisting and downloading with, other creatives to figure out, what is the best rollout? What does it mean? How do you get people engaged where they feel that you are accessible, but also are invested enough to still want to come out and purchase the music? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say, I know that's why a lot of artists, they do like the bundles. So they usually sell their music with their merchandise.
Yep.
I think or I think another thing, like, say, like, you putting out music. And then, like back in the day, we used to make it like the CD in the case. That was really a good part of the music. So I think artists should go back to really investing in their artwork, like make it like a limit, like, get a real artist to do your artwork, like do some tight shit in it. Like, don't just, we got to step it up like it was back in the day. Like I'm saying, back in the day, you was excited to see that that inside of that album? Because you knew it was gonna have something in there that you wanted to see, or they had the lyrics in there, something. Got to take it back to that.
Totally. I agree. And I feel like within my artistry, what I enjoy most about being a creative is that I get to be part of teams, and I have people that have been doing my artwork for the past, 8 years, and constantly meet new artists, get a live painter to come paint at your show,
Right.
Who's local in your community that's doing screen printing, can you go do a pop-up show at their shop to bring them new fans and new eyes? How do you engage your community and build a team so that, because if one of us eats, we can all eat. And so that's where we're at. Is we just printed out a bunch of CDs. I'm going to go pick them up on Thursday. And I'm working on getting a vinyl out. And so my buddy's doing a really beautiful painting for that vinyl cover. And I'm right there with you. I'm like, how can we bring it back to everybody contributing their art to make a really just phenomenal product that is made by us for us? You know what I mean?
Fubu. I would say another thing, since you said everybody eats, and I got an idea for you, because my friend actually has a food catering business. So you were saying, say you have a pop-up, and then that's also a good time to bring that food business over with you, because people gonna want to eat while they're at the pop-up. So it's then you can go more up there, maybe have some clothes or just whatever. But you can kind of, like you said, you can build where it's not just the artist, it has somewhat the whole community involved around them, and then that'll help everybody as well too.
Well, that's how you make a scene. You know what I mean? I feel like somebody who's doing it really good right now is La Russell.
Yeah,
he's killing it. And that's what I mean, is that template that he's doing is I feel like spiritually it's the way that we should go, is what are we doing it for? It's for us and for the people and for being together and for making music and making the art and being able to all survive. And what better way to do that than to put each other on? I feel like a lot of times within this industry, it becomes so competitive where it doesn't need to be that way. And so I feel like for me, especially with this release, and something I'm really excited about this band is I do a lot of women's showcases where I throw an event and we have all women run businesses vending. We've got a women run food truck, all women fronted bands perform. We've got 12 to 14 bands, 20 plus vendors, a food truck. We're at a local brewery, and it's events like that that really spiritually feed my soul. The weddings and the corporate gigs pay my bills, but I think that one of the really beautiful things about where we're at in this day and age is that it's so possible to do big coordination now because of technology. So you can do those big events like that, and it can be smooth in a way that was harder to handle before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that shit.
And then were you born and raised in Santa Clara?
So I'm in Santa Cruz.
Oh, Santa Cruz.
I was born in Pasadena. My family's from LA. My dad grew up in East LA, and then my grandparents moved kind of Sierra Madre foothills, and then they just moved actually to Escondido in San Diego.
They by us. They by me.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my dad's side of the family's all over there. So I was born in Pasadena, but I moved to Santa Cruz when I was about 2. And I'm 25 now. So it's been a while.
Okay. So just tell us about your background and how you got inspired to get in music.
I'm so lucky. I'm just a lucky little babe on that part. My mom's been belly dancing since she was 9. So belly dance is a Egyptian, Middle Eastern, Turkish. It comes from all over the world, but it's this dance art form that you see a lot if you go to, your local hookah lounge, or you go to a Middle Eastern restaurant, or they have these big belly dance meetups called haflas. Belly dance has been in LA since, I believe, the 60s. And my grandmother, Marta Schill, was learning belly dancing and learning flamenco by going to shows at El Cid, which is this old club in LA. And her and my grandfather, my dad's parents, they used to go to this club, and my grandfather was watching the musicians on stage. My grandma was watching the dancers, and they taught themselves. My grandma taught herself how to belly dance. My grandfather taught himself how to play flamenco guitar. And then they started doing gigs. And I believe early 70s, I want to say, all of the clubs in Los Angeles decided that they weren't going to pay dancers, exotic dancers, belly dancers. They used to pay $12 a set, which is about 20 minutes of dancing, and they went down to $2. And they wouldn't push the envelope on that. And all of the clubs decided to do it. So my grandmother banded together with this group of women and created the first exotic dancers union in Los Angeles. And it was called MECTA. So it was the Middle Eastern Dance Coalition Association, I believe. And while she was busy doing that, my grandfather was in David Lindley's first band called the Kaleidoscope, which was a psychedelic world music rock band. And they played with bands like Big Brother and the Holding Company, Grateful Dead, Jimi Hendrix, and did a lot of tours like that. My grandpa was a pretty phenomenal musician and did a lot of more like Renaissance Fair, world music camps and festivals. And then on my mom's side, my mom went to one of these music camps when she was 9 and met my grandfather, and he introduced her to belly dancers, and she started belly dancing. Her and my dad didn't meet until they were in their late 20s, but she had known my grandfather for a long time. And then my parents met in about maybe 1995 at this music camp in the foothills of Fresno, which is a little world music camp called Sweetsmill. And they met and they fell in love at a 2 a.m. jam around a campfire and have been together ever since. And I've been going to that same music camp since embryo. So my first time being on stage was in my mom's belly while she was dancing. And my whole family's played music. So I've been doing the belly dance scene and haflas and all of that for my entire life. And then when I was about, my first memory that I have very distinctly is I was about 3 or 4 years old. And there are these big drums called tapans that you sling straps over your shoulder and you play on either side, kind of like marching band style for a reference. And I used to dance on top of my dad's drum. So my dad was standing and I was dancing on top of his drum, and my mom and my sister and aunt were belly dancing. My grandfather was playing the chumbush, which is like a Turkish banjo, and my brother was playing the violin. We had a couple other musicians around us, and then there was like 200 people at this music camp. To me, at 3 years old, it was like a sea of people. And I just remember, I'm paraphrasing, but I was just on that drum feeling the energy of performance, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is the best. And I've just been, loving that feeling and being present within that atmosphere my entire life. And it's been amazing.
That's good. You know your family's history.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you know your parents, you know your grandparents. So that kind of like, I'm pretty sure that motivates you to keep doing it as well.
Well, I think the really beautiful thing and what I'm really fortunate to have is I have family members who have been performers for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So when I decided to make music, it wasn't go get a real job. It was you want to work? You like working really hard? Go get it. You got to get after it though. But they were always really supportive and really realistic, and always, acknowledged that it is a real job and that it is a lot of work, but that it's possible. And having that kind of family support has been just insurmountably wonderful. I don't think where I could be where I am today if I didn't have the support of my family and my community and that lifelong love, because I feel like with music you get out of it what you put into it.
Mhm.
It's like a relationship. The more time and the more care you give, the better that you know it. You can have a really close relationship, a really close friendship, but it takes time, and it takes dedication, and it takes commitment, and it takes being present and being consistent to have the best relationship that you can. And so music is the same thing. It will give you everything.
Right.
You can be a monster player. It's just, how much time are you going to give? How committed are you? And I feel really lucky that I've had an entire life of of having so many people around me that are already doing it, that I had that commitment modeled to me. So it's very easy for me to adopt into my own life. So that's kind of my background, and I've never wanted. I'm not that good at anything else, honestly. This is the love of my life, and I'm very happy to be here.
So then what do you want the listeners to know about you?
Um, I want them to know that with Trianna Feruza and the Heavy Hitters, it's a time to, whether you're coming to a show or you're listening to the record, you're going to have, X amount of time that you can just like let go and zone out and feel good. It's tight arrangements, it's really groovy pockets, it's a lot of fun, but we also talk about real shit. So it's nice to be. I feel like one of my favorite parts about going to a concert is if I had a really bad week and I just needed to let off steam, and I go to a good show where I can just like let go and dance, or if I just sit in the back and I can just nod my head and just like let go of my stuff for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, you know, it it it's a soothing balm for the soul. And so I think that with our music, like that's what we're trying to give to everybody else, because being able to make the music has been that for us. I
Then
feel like sorry.
know what you're saying?
Oh, I just think that in the way that the world is right now, you know, all we can do is like be in community and make art and rise up, and together we are so much stronger than we are alone. And I've never found a more ubiquitously connective force than music.
Right. Maybe sports.
Maybe food too, honestly.
Food and sports.
Yeah.
When you put them all together, then it's on. I'm gonna say, and then I want you to walk us through your creative process.
I think me and the band, how we did a lot of this record is we would sit down with a song that one of us had written, and we would discuss, you know, the different sections of the song. Like let's say like one song is going to be like AABA. So it's going to be like verse, verse, chorus, verse. And the only change is going to be that chorus sonically. So we'll sit together, we'll play through what somebody's written, we'll decide on a roadmap, we'll go, okay, well, I really like hits here, or I'm really wanting, a bridge that really changes. Where do we go? And then we write down our roadmap, we'll get the song really dialed in, and then I'll go and write the lyrics. Or sometimes I'll write a song on my guitar or piano and I'll already have the lyrics all written out, and then we'll cultivate the arrangement to make the lyrics pop the best. So it can go either way, but especially in this band, what we're really focused on is just a really tight arrangement, really good flow, and that pocket. We want people in the audience to just You know, when that stank face comes out, you know you did good. And we like that shit. I feel like if you got a bunch of people in the audience that are dancing, you did good. You know, if everybody's grooving out, even if it's a slow song that's not that dancey, if everybody's, you know, getting into their zone, you nailed it.
Yep.
You know, if you throw an entire show and nobody's dancing, I don't know that you really hit the mark. And that's just personally.
Right.
Um,
And then what are some of your current projects right now?
We just released Trianna Feruza and the Heavy Hitters just released our debut album, self-titled, and it's got about 9 tracks on it, and they are phenomenal. It's available on all streaming platforms. You can go listen to it today. We also have it up on Bandcamp. We've got it up on iTunes, Amazon Music, Tidal, Spotify. Wherever you stream your music, it's on YouTube. Wherever you want to go, we've got it. I'm also in a couple other bands. I make music for a living. So basically, for all of those that don't, it kind of means that you do 1,000 jobs to do what you love for a living, which I'm very grateful to do. I would so much rather work 120 hours a week for me and my art than work for other people. However, I am a music teacher through Everyone's Music School, and I do love that job. That is my on paper groovy job, and I love them. And getting to teach music to my community is a blessing as well.
Yeah, I say sometimes you got to be like it's good to have like another source of income, or you know, just in case. And then like it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you be a music teacher if all you do is music all day?
I love it. I just get paid to talk about what I love.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. Like when artists do want to get jobs, he's got to get a job that makes sense in the line.
Yeah,
like, you can't be like, say like if you wanted to be a nurse, that probably wouldn't be a good fit. You know what I'm saying? Being a nurse and trying to be a musician at the same time, you got to get a job that fits. And I think that's good. That's great.
I love it. I also do voiceover. Okay. So I'm a voiceover actor as well.
You do cartoons?
Yeah, mostly video games and commercials. But
give us a little do one of your voices.
Well, sometimes when I need to do little kid voices, I'll come in like this. Ha ha ha! Wow.
Or in a lot of video games, I get typecasted, and I'll be the demon villainess in the back, and I'll go, "You're gonna fucking die, and it's gonna be exciting." And that's very fun for me. I really enjoy character work. But yeah, I'm in a couple bands. I'm in Trianna Feruza, the Heavy Hitters, which is my baby. And then I also perform solo as Trianna Feruza, and I do a lot more like rap solo with tracks.
You rap, or you got rap music?
Yeah. I got bars. Let me tell you. I actually have a music video. If you look up "The Way She Funk" by Trianna Feruza, you're gonna see a dope music video. You should also look up "Hazy" by Trianna Feruza. Those are 2 of my rap joints that me and my good friend Dane Allen and my buddy Jared Brick with Brickhouse Media, we made some epic visuals. In "The Way She Funk," we got breakers, we got pole dancers, we got a twerk squad. It's insane, actually.
We'll check it out right after this.
Yeah, and
we'll play it, but YouTube be tripping. I don't be wanting to play nobody music on the screen because.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, you want me to play it?
If you want to, you're welcome to. I'm open.
Let me
actually,
see, can I find it? Huh?
Yeah, look up Trianna Feruza, "The Way She Funk."
All right, I'll look for it. I
love that. Yeah, so I'm in Trianna Feruza. I do more of my hip hop stuff. I also perform solo with a live looper. I love Reggie Watts, and when he did Pop Tech, he used the Boss RC, I think 303 at the time, but I have Boss RC 505, which is what he uses. So I do a lot of like acoustic live looping stuff, and then I've got a funk band that I'm in called Liddy DeBungus in San Francisco, and we are like full horn section funk band. It is so much fun.
So you living your life over there.
Oh, I'm working hard. I'm just waiting for the platform, baby. I feel like one of the idioms that my grandfather always used to tell me was, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
Right? And nobody's going to give you an opportunity, but if you make one and you present it to people, they'll pretend that they gave it to you. You know, that's what he always used to tell me. He was like, you just make them think it's their idea and you're going to get there. So I'm just preparing.
All right, so we're gonna go and play it.
Let's do it.
You see it?
Yep.
All right. Hopefully it plays pretty cool. We're gonna play it right now. Because I'm interested in this video. All right, we about to do this. You want to give him an intro? Give it a drop?
This is The Way She Funk by Trianna Feruza, produced by Jeeks.
All right, let's go.
See, I heard y'all were confused. You thought I didn't have the bar. Well, sit back, relax, cause me, come through with the swag like D-I-G-G-I-E. I keep them flows on icy. Got features getting pricey. They hip to who the best be. What's cooler than being cool is to stay ice cold. If you ain't getting down with this, then you ain't in the know. I got sugar and honey with the iced tea. Know that I get a little feisty. Cooking with the beat so spicy. Ain't no telling where I might be. A jet ski, an airplane, a nightclub, a chess game. Got strategies on deck. Bars like rain clouds get wet. See, you been getting mad cause she ain't dancing with you. Been getting on me because I got the right attitude, the right kind of grooves, the right kind of juice. Ain't playing the fool, been caught up in the game, know I be making my moves. Like a ring with a bang, got ice on the wrist. You ain't never seen little shawty like this. I'm pitching, catching, instant attraction. Say she is switch, I say 11. Baby, you don't gotta act so tough if you don't want. We can shake it together, show me that junk up in your trunk. Show me that junk up in, junk up in, junk up in your trunk. See, I can see the way she work, I wanna know the way she funk. I see that junk up in, junk up in, junk up in your trunk. Yeah, I can see the way you work, I wanna know the way you funk. Jessica, wrap it in her red dress, edible confection. Come and learn these lessons, and I can do these stressing. Get your chakra lined up so we can hit it right. You know you gon' see me, we gon' party all night. Hit the ground, you know what's up, just go on and fill that cup. Yeah, you know I got that, yeah, you know I got that. You know we gon' hit it with the boom, boom, clap. That click, click, boom, and she know it is that. You been getting mad cause she ain't dancing with you. Been getting on me because I got the right attitude, the right kind of grooves, right kind of jewels. Ain't playing the fool. Been caught up in my game, so I be making my moves. See, I ain't a better man, can't claim to be straight, but I got this craving. Always hungry when it's you on my plate. These little mistakes when you say you been up on the head. Walking these city streets with Lucy, she can hang till it's late. Show me that junk up and junk up and junk up in your trunk. Yeah, I can see the way you work, I wanna know the way you funk. Baby, show me that junk up and junk up and junk up in your trunk. I can see the way you work, I wanna know the way you funk.
Wait.
These are just the bloopers.
Let's get this ladder out. Shine your light.
What if they're doing shit and she walks in and I think you're
Okay, so on my left, you walk out a little back further.
Yeah. That looks so fucking hot. Hey, guys, we're rolling. Music. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
Go down maybe 3 more steps. One more. All right, you're good.
Right, you want me to walk so fast. Well, sit back.
One more smoke, Chris. One more smoke. There we go. Nice.
You know, that was way better. That was a lot better.
What do you think? Hold up. Nice.
Okay, Jackson, you ready?
Oh, you're coming. Get closer. Yeah! That's fucking hot.
Thank you guys so much. 3, 2, 1, Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that was dope right there.
Yes, sir.
That was
It was
hard.
it was a good time.
I like how you did the add you to the make sure. Yeah, I like how you did the behind the scenes too. You just going and add it on there. That was tight too.
Yeah, there's a version on YouTube that doesn't have that, but what I always really love is like I like seeing how things were made personally, so I like including it just because it's fun.
All right, so yeah, so how you get when you start rapping? That was actually like, because I don't know if you know, like I interviewed Megan Stallion, I interviewed Snow the Product, I interviewed MC Light, I interviewed a lot of female rappers, but yeah, you tight. I actually had a female battle rap tournament, like just all females and they was battling, but yeah, that's pretty good. Like I'm really impressed. I didn't know. I knew you were saying it was good, but I wasn't expecting it to be that good, and it was really good.
I'm very happy to over impress. I like hitting the mark.
In the video, like I said, you put a lot of work into it. That's why it's kind of good that you showed the behind the scenes right there, because it show how you do all the work. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting you to come like that.
Hey, let's go.
So yeah, when you started rapping?
I actually did battle rapping.
Oh.
When I was in middle school, I would go to meetups in Oakland and would do little battle raps, and I joined a poetry team, and that was kind of the beginning. Is I got my brother's iPod Nano when I was 8, and it had all, D12, the Chronic 2001, the Freestyle Fellowship, AC Alone, old school Queen Latifah. It had, Drew Down. It had some Mac Dre. It had, all of these rappers on it. And I got this little Nano, and I would just listen. And I would copy, all of the flows. And because my dad's a drummer, when you speak in drum language, you go, ba da 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 da. No, I was thinking about the rhythm. It was like, ricky ticky don't da da. So because I had that kind of language already in my head, it's been really easy to cultivate a study where, I'm able to write flows. And a lot of times when I get to write, when I'm not freestyling, I'll get to, record that and go ba da 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 ba, and do the sounds and then put the words to it afterwards. Because I feel like
scatting, right?
Yeah. What?
Scatting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's a lot about how drummers talk to each other like that too. When they're trying to communicate like a rhythm or a vibe, musicians will be like, "Hey, will you actually do it more like a boo boo cat?" Which has made it, yeah. So a lot of times when I'm writing my flows, I'll more do it like rhythmically and then get the words later. But I love freestyling. It's a muscle. Freestyling's a muscle. I gotta say though, like listening, you know, to Black Thought and K Dot and just really like if you study, have you heard Black Thought's Sway in the Morning? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Studying that stuff, you know, studying those videos, getting to, you know, listen to like old school Don Dada videos and kind of deep diving there. It's just such a fun exercise too with rap. And like we love Snow the Product. Megan Thee Stallion's fucking dope. Nicki Minaj is dope. I'm like, I want somebody to find me in the McDonald's, dude. I gotta go to the right McDonald's. I've been going to the wrong ones for years.
Who got discovered at McDonald's?
Huh?
Who got discovered at McDonald's?
Nicki Minaj. Lil Wayne went into McDonald's and discovered Nicki Minaj.
Oh, yeah. Cause actually, I've been doing it for a minute. So actually, like, you remember? I don't know if you remember how like before she was in a group.
Yep.
And it was Safari, another rapper, and her.
I do.
I'm cool with the other rapper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I started like 2008, and he was talking about it like back then, but I just couldn't get it. But he was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Cause I think the guy I'm talking about, his name's Lou Star, and his dad is the dude from House Party, the little short one. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. That's his dad. And he was in a group with Nicki Minaj, and it was Safari too. It was him, Nicki Minaj, and Safari.
No
And
shit.
I forgot the name of the group, but yeah, I didn't know she got discovered in Walmart too. I mean, not McDonald's. I didn't know that part.
I mean, I just read it. I don't know for
Oh.
sure. I've never talked to her and asked, but that's what the internet says.
Nah, she tight though. I actually I was just looking at her. It was talking about her today, but I think she's been around. Like she's been one of the best for a while now. She's
been killing it. Also, you know, from here in the Bay, like Blimes and Gab. Blimes just got a live band together. She's been kicking ass. Snow's been kicking ass. You know, Lil Sims is rocking it. Doechii literally just got multiple Grammys.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I love that women in hip hop are really, there's so many more of us in the scene now. And it's so nice to be able to have like a lot of peers, you know, because it wasn't always that way.
Yeah, so give us your top 5 favorite artists.
Oh no.
Yeah, I want to see who you say because you all over because you got a lot of stuff, a lot of songs.
Oh, okay. Of all time or just recently?
You can do recently. Let's see.
Okay, I'll do recently. Recently, Anderson .Paak, always.
Good, yeah.
Doechii, also just phenomenal. Lauryn Hill is always, as far as songwriting goes, is just the queen of my life. I got 2 more. I gotta say, as a belter, Etta James for me is definitely all time just one of my people that I've based my artistry off of. And then recently I've been doing a lot of jazz gigs. I got a jazz quintet called Swing Shift. And so I've been studying a lot of Ella Fitzgerald recently just to kind of get my musicianship back on. I've been really loving all of they're all Alan Stone. Alan Stone's phenomenal. Of course, The Roots.
Yeah, somebody my guy said he want to know because we was doing recent, but he said he want to know all time.
Of all time.
But you was kind of going to all time. You kind of named 2 new people. Then most of the other ones was like older.
Yeah. I think of all time. I think the Roots. I think Amy Winehouse is another really big one. Of all time is Edzma Retspova, is a Macedonian singer. She's not with us anymore. but she was a phenomenal Macedonian singer. And a lot of the stuff that I sang with my family at all the belly dance stuff was a lot of her songs.
What's
And
Macedonia?
Macedonia is a country in the Balkans.
Where?
And in the Balkans. So like Europe area.
Okay. Right.
And
Sorry.
so it's like Albania, Macedonia, Romania, Hungary, Greece.
I heard Romania and Hungary. I just never heard of that country before.
Oh, totally. No, all good. And so I really love her. And what I love about her career is a lot of times when people make it really big and make a lot of money, they fund themselves. But what Esma Retspova did with her career is she became a global sensation, adopted 42 orphans, refugee orphans, put them through music school, and they became her band and dancers. And It's so rad. She's just the greatest.
What's her name again?
Esma Retspova. So ESMA REDZPOVA.
I'm gonna check her out.
Yeah, please do.
They don't have a movie for her or nothing yet? So like she should have had a movie or something.
Not yet, although they used a lot of her songs in Borat and did not credit her. Yeah, which was a really big bummer. I love her. And then Michael Jackson, I think, is another one as far as like learning how to write songs. Michael Jackson was the king of pop for a reason. Getting to watch the way that he puts his songs together and the way that he puts his sections together, and looking at Quincy Jones's career and watching the way that they, did their songwriting has probably been, I think one of the best things you can be as a growing artist is you can be good at being coached, it's always learning. And I feel like that's the thing that we have to be careful of as artists, is if we don't think we're dope, nobody else is going to think we're dope. So we got to have a little bit of that ego, but we can't have so much of it that we think we know everything.
Because you know what? That's what I was going to say, because like Michael Jackson, he was around since he was a kid, and he was around Motown, Smokey Robinson, Diana Ross, Barry Gordy. So he could have just been like, I don't need to listen to nobody. I'm listening to Quincy Jones. I don't have to listen to anybody, but he still was humble enough to say, I'm gonna work with Quincy Jones. I'm gonna listen to him.
Yeah. Also, if anybody watching is a big reader, Quincy Jones's autobiography is epic. It's a good read. He has a really phenomenal career. And then also, I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce so much.
Yeah, I say and then I think I'm gonna find. I think I might have it already, but if not, it's on Audible too for the non-readers.
Yeah, it is. It is on Audible, and the guy's voice in it is good, so you can listen to it. It won't make you angry.
I think I have it. What's the name? Is it the In His Life and Music?
I believe so. I don't remember it off the top.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Do I already have it? I'm just gonna buy it just in case I don't have it.
It's such a good book.
What other books you like? What's some more books you like?
I'm a big fantasy nerd. But as far as like autobiographies, Jimi Hendrix autobiography is phenomenal. Quincy Jones's autobiography is really good. Michael Jackson also has a lot of books written about him. David Bowie's autobiography is fantastic. That's another big one for me, is what David Bowie did with his career. Same with Queen. Love Freddie Mercury. But what David Bowie did with Ziggy Stardust is he created a rock opera. He had a 2-hour show that was a theatrical performance. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars was a global like musical, but it was by a rock star. And the way that he did that, same with Prince. Prince started doing that with his shows. Queen was doing that with their shows. And it was so epic because when you go to a show, you're giving somebody a performance and making that theatricality combined with like rock stardom is like what's allowed artists like Lady Gaga to do what she was doing, Justin Timberlake to do what he was doing like early 2000s, and like those kind of engaging, like you have dancers, you've got the singers, you've got the acting, you have your script dialed in. Is like how our live performances are built today, and it's so cool to like go back and watch all of that too. That's been a big motivator for me, and a really great source of inspiration is getting to watch those old school big concerts, because I feel like as an artist we get so caught up when we're still small time in like day-to-day survival that we forget to like really work on big picture dream. I feel like we know that we like want it, but we don't know what it would look like if we had it. And I think that's one of my favorite exercises. Like if I had $1 million to spend,
what I be doing with it?
Yeah, well, but if I had one just for a concert,
that's so good you said that, because sometimes it's like you can say you can't just put the number out, because you gotta like say you talking to God and you say I want $1 million. He or she, okay, what you gonna do with it? If you don't have it, like that's why they say this is probably the same reason they say have a business plan, because you got to write it out. So you got to have a business plan with yourself as well. You can't just be like, I want the money, but you don't know what you're going to do with it, because why would he give it to you? Why would you deserve it if you don't even have a plan? Like, you don't even know what you're going to do with the money. You just want the money. Why? For what?
Totally. Well, but also I think that's another thing with musicians is that we're so creative based that we forget that getting to that next step is you as a musician or a band are a startup. You are a startup company. And what you need as a startup company is you need investors. You need to look for sponsorships. You need to look for the right audience for your brand. You need to have the brand, and you need to be able to push a product. So what is your package? What are you doing, and how do you sell that? Because that's how you get the booking agencies. That's how you get the bigger shows. That's how, you get the managers, and you get to those next steps. It is a business. And it is for me, like the greatest, bestest, most awesome business in the world. But it's still like, nobody's going to invest in you if you don't have a product that they can see growth in, which I know is like very impersonal and not as shiny, but that's what I've been working on a lot the past couple of years. Is like, what we want to be doing is like right now I'm the promoter, band leader, lead singer, writer, booking agent, tour manager, chauffeur, art director, music video director, and it's a lot of jobs. I don't want to do all those jobs. But right now we're building up a package and building up a business so that when I do have the numbers to be able to go bring my PowerPoint to a booking agency, I'll go, hey, these are my stats. This is my numbers. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm projected to do in the next 2 years with this kind of support that I think that you can offer. This is why I'm a good business deal for you, and you should invest in me. And that's really like the way that it works. Unfortunately, I wish that it was still like I would sing my heart out in a restaurant and the right manager would be sitting in the booth in the back and it was almost famous. It's just that's not where we live, unfortunately. Right. Although, I'm not saying that it won't happen. Please let it happen. Whoever's up there, I would love that. But, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and you just got to prepare so that the right person can offer you a leg up.
And then where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Dude, I'm going to be touring Europe. I'm going to be small. I'm going to be maybe bigger arenas, but I think sold out concert halls in the next 5 years. We'll have done several national tours that were successful. We've got a couple of songs that are on the charts. Potentially still independent. If we do get picked up by a label, I'm really open to that part. I feel like there's no blueprint for making it, But for me, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be full-time recording and touring in the next 5 years. I'm going to have a sustainable income. I'm going to have I'm going to be putting into my retirement. I'm going to be able to support, me and my family, not be stressing, and just get to do what I love and be going on those 28-day tours and rocking the house and having a great time with a bunch of people that love what I do as much as I love what I do. And that's where I'm going to be at in 5 years.
And then how do you like to engage with your fans, and what does their support mean to you?
I think how I like to engage with my fans is I go live online. I also I love, it's really, for me, I'm a big performance girl. I'm a live show girly. That's where I thrive. That's where my heart is. The most myself that I've ever been in my life is when I'm with a good crowd on a good stage playing music. And that's, getting to meet people at the shows. All of my bands are just phenomenal as far as the performance aspect goes. So come to a show. A lot of times right now they're free. We do a lot of breweries, we do a lot of bars, we do a lot of events. Come out to the show, get you some t-shirts, come buy a CD, when you're going online, check out our Bandcamp. How do you support the artists in your community? Well, you find the streaming services that actually pay them a little bit. And like, it doesn't take a lot, follow us on social media, find our bands in town, see when we're going to come to your city. A lot of times when we go on tour, we also do like little house shows on our days off. Like maybe you have a house and you want to host us for a show. We would love to come do that with you, and I think that what their support means to me is like engagement, and that's the best thing you can do for the artists that you love is you can show support by buying, tickets to the shows, going to the shows, buying the merch, follow them on social media, share the posts that you like, add all of the favorite songs that they've released to your playlist. Let's say you're in a position where all you can do is stream the music. Go on Spotify, run up the numbers. While you're at work, leave an album playing for like 6 hours, and that's going to run up their numbers and their engagement. And I think it's just, being part of a community and a team. So that's really, for me, how my fans can best support me is like, come grow with me, come be engaged, and let's be on this journey together. And then we'll go from these smaller bars to, being in these arenas. And, if you're coming to a lot of those smaller time shows, by the time we take off, you hit us up for a VIP ticket, you're in the door, So I think that's the best way for me to engage. And like, let's say also you've got an art form. You're like, wow, I'm a painter. I really loved, this song that you did, or I'm a dancer. I really love, this is my favorite song off your album. Film a video of you dancing or painting to the song. We can all make content together. Or like maybe it's you and your mom dancing around the kitchen to a song that you showed your mom and she really liked. Like, we would love to see it. So I think engagement.
What's up? All right, so we're about to wrap it up, but I got some rapid fire questions.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm gonna get it simple first. Hold on, my got my homie Pope. He's in one of my sim league. He's in my that's my homie from the sim league. But he says, keep grinding. You got this. Wishing you nothing but success.
Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you.
All right. So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All right. Why is that?
Tea ain't gonna do it for me.
I
mean, if I had a cup of tea in the morning when I woke up, I would be mean as hell.
And then what do you drink? Like, what kind of coffee you drink?
I really like hazelnut coffee. Okay. I'm a sweet tooth bitch. That's me.
Do you put cream in anything?
Yeah, I like hazelnut creamer or vanilla creamer. Half and half's great. Some heavy whipping cream ain't half bad.
All right. Favorite song to perform live?
Sweet Melodies.
Okay. Give us the chorus.
Sweet melodies make for good. Memories have been feeling tipsy. I spent all my money.
Nope. I ain't got no soundboard over here. But if I had a soundboard, I would have dropped some bombs or something.
Nice. Pew, pew, pew.
Hey, that was tight. I was like, all right. It was fun. You was like, you said something like it go plop, plop, plop. Then you was like, and then you pointed the gun and said, flip it back. I was like, all right. On that song. You know what I'm talking about? The part I was talking about? Yeah, I was like, all right. I thought that was
that
funny.
click, click, boom, and she know where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right. And then
Also,
okay.
happy Pride Month, friends.
What's your dream collaboration?
I would love to make an album with Anderson .Paak and Hiatus Coyote. Also, I would love to have a jam with me, Jack Black, Reggie Watts, and Erykah Badu.
Why you said Jack Black?
Because it'd be so much fun.
Cause he's the actor, right?
Yeah, he's also a really good musician. I don't know if anybody's checked out Tenacious D, but he does a lot of satire, and it's hysterically funny.
And then what's one word to describe your music?
Groovy.
All right. And then if you could travel back in time, what decade would you choose?
1970s.
Why you say 70s?
Motown, baby. Oh, what I would have done to be there. Or 90s. I would have loved to go to a Biggie Smalls concert, and to see D-Light open up for Salt and Pepper in the 90s would have been a dream come true. I would have loved to have been at that show. Any show on that tour would have been great.
What's up? And then you was talking about what you were saying earlier. You said you would go back watching Don Dada.
Have you seen the YouTube videos where he's got the pen and he's just banging on the fucking deck, rapping with a pen?
I gotta check it out. I'm gonna look it up.
Look up "Married to the Game," Don Dada.
All right, I'll type it up after this. And then let me see what else. Are you a morning person or night owl?
Night owl. You can't be a morning person when you gig small time.
Right.
That ain't how it works. If you can't be up and active at 1 o'clock in the morning, being a musician is not for you. Unless, that's not true. You could do matinee shows. It's possible. Never mind. You could do all the things.
Oh, I know you talking about Don Dada now. I didn't know his name. I know who he is now. My bad. I didn't know who you was talking about at first.
All good.
I had to look him up. I know you talking about. I just didn't know because I didn't know his name. But yeah, he is tight. He is tight. And then what's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram.
Why you like Instagram?
I think that I'm moving towards Blue Sky now, but the reason that I like Instagram is you can go live. It's, I think it's the only one that I've monetized, honestly.
What's Blue Sky?
Blue Sky is it's like if Twitter and Instagram had a baby that wasn't owned by Meta.
But then I know, I would say it seemed, I know this one's supposed to be going away, but it seemed like TikTok is where all the numbers are. Like you trying to get seen the most. That's
true. You need a good camera, and good lighting, and a nice board to mix all of that. I'm working on it. TikTok's hard. I'm a little technologically challenged. I know that I'm 25 and I should know better, but I don't.
You was born right in the IT age.
Yeah, well, but I am actually. I got 2 nephews and a niece. But I still write with a notepad and a pen. I don't know. I'm old school.
You don't use your notes on your phone?
I mean, sometimes. I use voice memos on my phone a lot. I'll record ideas, but I I still write stuff. I'm not very technologically sound. I need a lot of help. I'm just a new age dinosaur. They happen.
And then what's your favorite go-to snack?
My favorite go-to snack is most certainly goat cheese and crackers.
Okay.
Maybe some avocado.
Any certain type of crackers?
Just any like saltine crackers are fantastic.
And what's one artist you can't live without?
Etta James, baby.
This is up. And then what was the last book you read?
The last book that I read was A Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, and I reread it for the third time.
Wow.
Recently.
You like that?
Yeah, it's really good. The Name of the Wind and A Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss is some of the best new school fantasy books out there right now, and I'm so sorry, guys. You should read them, but I don't think he'll ever come out with the third one. It's been 7 years. It's not looking good for us, but you should read the first two. They're very good.
What's your favorite movie genre?
I gotta say musicals. I'm a big musicals girl.
Which one?
I also love comedies.
What's some of your favorite musicals?
Rent is number one. I do a lot of musical theater too. So Rent. I also love Hairspray is a great one. Sweeney Todd is really fun. I love a Harry Potter musical. Is this musical that they made about Harry Potter, which is hysterically funny. Yeah, I think those are top three.
And then if you was a musician, what would you be doing?
I actually own a Politickin company, so I do wax design on t-shirts. So I would probably just be doing that.
What do you mean by wax design on t-shirts?
So we use batik is an Indonesian art form where you have a mix of beeswax and paraffin wax, and you put it on top of organic fiber cloth. So it could be cotton, bamboo, linen, silk, denim, rayon, etc. And you put the wax onto the shirt in a design, and that acts as a seal. And then you use fabric dye and you paint inside of it, and then you put wax on the top of it, and then you hand dye the garment in a vat of dye, and you dye it, and then you wring it out in water, and then you have a boiling pot of water, and you boil the wax out, and then you have this really dope t-shirt.
You have one around?
I do. Let me go grab it.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Wax on my lips. Y'all make sure y'all check me out. PoPolitickin on Instagram, Twitter. It's PoPolitickin 760 on Twitch. Check us out.
So what I do.
Okay, that's dope. And that's like, does it just stay on there forever?
Yep,
like,
and it's already pre-shrunk. I've put it in boiling water. It's all boiled out.
That's tight right there.
Yeah, so we're called Cats Creations Batiks. So KATS Creations and then Batiks. BATIKS.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you working on at least 140 hours a week. How do you manage your time?
I have a whiteboard and a planner and a calendar and a calendar on my phone and alarms like 30 minutes before tasks.
It sounds like you'd be pretty busy. You're doing a lot.
Yeah, but hopefully that means that later I won't be doing as much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You at the age where shit, you can do it. You're 25, so
yeah, I think
now, so you can, you be like, later off, you already put all your work in.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the rest of my 20s, if I can really keep my nose to the grindstone for the next 5 years, in my 30s and 40s, I have the career that I want that is sustainable enough for me to be able to survive and thrive. And one of the ways that you can help is by streaming the Heavy Hitters album on all streaming platforms. Look up Trianna Feruza and the Heavy Hitters and go stream that shit.
Yeah. All right. I would say anything you want to say to your fans and supporters?
I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please go listen to the album. Let me know what your favorite song is. I love feedback. And if you got a favorite and you want to do a little dance video, I'd love to see you and your people rocking out to the music. And just thank you guys so much. And I can't wait to see y'all at the next show.
All right. I want to say thank you for coming through Politickin with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, no doubt. I say, what's your social media and everything?
So my social media is at Trianna Feruza. That's TriannaFeruza.
All right, no doubt. You got any shout outs?
Shout out Eris for helping me book this interview. Shout out to my band. The Heavy Hitters are rad as hell, and I love them very much. Shout out to Liddy DeBungus for all of those in San Francisco. We're going to be performing at the Rickshaw Shop on the 29th. That's this Thursday. And then we're also performing, me and the Heavy Hitters are performing at Mountain Vibes Music Festival on Friday. And everybody in the Sacramento area, come to the Blue Mountain Event Center and come rock at the festival with us. You can use promo code HEAVY to get a massive discount on your ticket. If you're into off-roading vehicles, ska, hip-hop, reggae music, and you want to be by a river having a kick-ass time, come party with us this weekend.
Well, it was no doubt. Yeah, shout out Aries for sure. That's the homie I've been working for a while. With my friend, he asked us about Tupac. I don't know what he asking me. Just
I do love Tupac. I love Tupac. I love Biggie. They are definitely big inspiring performers in my life. I love studying their lyricism is fantastic. I also also shout out Pope.
Yeah, I know
I'll shout you.
he want a shout out, so shout about what up. Now, that's my homie. He just I got a basketball 2K league I'll be running, so but we all run a league, so that's one of my homies.
I love it.
Checking it out. All right, but yeah, I want to say thanks for coming through Politickin with me. Yeah, we gotta catch up. So anytime you have something you want to talk about or a project, hit me up.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right, till the next time, y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.